Imagine a world that moves faster than your ability to process it. A world where information flows like a tide, constant, shifting, overwhelming. And in the center of this motion stands a human being, someone with expectations, fears, interpretations, impulses. Here begins the central question. Is it possible to live in a way where reality doesn't intimidate you, where emotions don't control you, and where your actions don't create destruction but clarity? This question leads us to adequatism. Adequatism is not a belief system. It's not dogma. It's a method, a mental operating system designed to bring clarity where confusion rises, balance where chaos grows, and responsible action where reactions usually take over. Its symbol is a map of consciousness. The outer circle represents reality, the space of facts, forces, and causes. Inside it rests the diamond, consciousness structured through thought, emotion, action, and perception. At the center lies the core of truth, small, quiet, and uncompromising. A horizontal line marks the meeting point between thinking and doing. A vertical axis stands for inner dignity, a strength that doesn't need to be loud. Together, these elements form a model sustained by 7 guiding principles. 7 laws that shape how a person can move through the world without losing themselves. The first law, the law of reality. Human beings rarely see reality as it is. The brain predicts more than it perceives. Most conflicts begin when our expectations collide with what actually exists. The first law says, see first, think second, act third. Reality is not an enemy and not a decoration. It's the ground under your feet. The outer circle of the symbol reminds us, truth starts with contact with the world, not with our assumptions about it. When you see facts clearly, your decisions sharpen and illusions lose their power. The second law, the law of mental balance. Inside the symbol, the diamond represents 4 forces constantly shaping human experience: thought, emotion, perception, and action. When one dominates, balance collapses. Emotion becomes impulsiveness. Logic becomes coldness. Perception becomes distortion, and action becomes chaos. The second law teaches, hold balance. Don't suppress emotions, understand them. Don't ignore logic, align it with what is real. Don't blindly follow impulses, observe them. Mental balance is not stillness, but inner coordination. It is the freedom that comes from self-governance. The third law, the law of mutual benefit. Every healthy system survives through balanced exchange, taking and giving. Take too much, everything collapses. Give too much, you collapse. Adaptatism doesn't encourage selfish gain or self-sacrifice. It seeks the sustainable middle. The third law says, act in ways that help you without harming others. This is not compromise. It is stability. The horizontal line in the symbol represents this relationship, the meeting point between inner intention and outward impact. When your actions create benefit without damage, their influence becomes clean, strong, and lasting. The fourth law, the law of honesty. Self-deception is one of the most destructive forces in human life. When you lie to yourself, your internal map no longer matches the territory. Every decision becomes misaligned. At the center of the symbol sits a small circle, the core of truth. This is the place within you where masks fall away. The fourth law says, do not distort reality, not even to comfort yourself. Honesty is not harshness. It is clarity. It removes confusion, reduces unnecessary suffering, and restores alignment between perception and the real world. The fifth law, the law of boundaries and respect. Boundaries are not walls. They are the architecture of dignity. Without boundaries, a person dissolves into the demands of others. With rigid boundaries, they become brittle and isolated.
The fifth law says, respect your boundaries and respect the boundaries of others. The vertical axis in the symbol represents the inner spine of the self. It is not loud. It does not need to be proven. Yet, it is the structure that allows a person to remain whole. Clear, healthy boundaries create mature relationships and responsible behavior.
The sixth law, the law of proportional action. Most mistakes come from acting based on emotion rather than the true needs of the situation. Too much force destroys. Too little force invites disorder. The sixth law, act proportionally, just enough, not more, not less. The diamond stands upright because its forces are balanced. Likewise, proportional action arises from internal equilibrium, not adrenaline. Precision is more powerful than intensity. The seventh law, the law of harmony. Harmony is not silence. It is alignment, the point where thought, emotion, action, and perception move in the same direction, where there is no inner war draining your energy. Harmony occurs in the symbol when all elements, the circle, the diamond, the center, the horizontal and vertical axes, function as one integrated system. Harmony is a skill, a cultivated state of coherence. And once it appears, it gives rise to a strength that no longer needs to be performed or defended. So, what is adequatism in the end? Adequatism is a discipline of clarity, a method for seeing without distortion, thinking without confusion, and acting without unnecessary damage. It brings clarity instead of chaos, balance instead of reactivity, dignity instead of fragmentation, precision instead of excess, and harmony instead of exhaustion. Adequatism doesn't make a person emotionless, it makes them conscious. It doesn't make them rigid, it makes them accurate. It doesn't make them fragile, it makes them stable. In a world where noise has become normal, adequatism returns what is most essential, the ability to be a human being who sees clearly, thinks deeply, and acts responsibly.